Plant Your Plate. So on the very first page, it has some information about what Homegrown Hillsboro is, and what UF IFAS is. So real quick, raise of hands, who here has heard about UF IFAS extension? Great, so a lot of you are familiar with it. So we are part of the local county government. We're a partnership with the University of Florida, which means that basically me and Mary here and Heather over there, our jobs are education. So we learn from the top scientists at the University of Florida, and then we do cool classes like this. So we have a lot of different workshops. We have one on micro-irrigation, rainwater harvesting, backyard composting. We have edible landscapes. We have more kind of ag-based, how to raise different cattle and backyard chickens and all kinds of things. So if you aren't familiar with UF IFAS, we definitely want you to go check out some of our other classes as well. But one of our best kind of like bread and butter workshops is our gardening workshops. And so like this is our first time doing this, where we're actually partnering with community gardens. So today we are at the Apollo Beach Community Garden. So thank you for hosting us. In the back we have Paula, Teresa, and then Raleigh back there. And they're the reason why this garden looks the way it does. And I won't speak for them, but I'm pretty sure that they would love for you to join their garden and to be here more often. We did this series so that way you can kind of go to your most local garden. So we're doing it here in Apollo Beach. We're doing it up in West Tampa and in East Tampa too. So hopefully this is a convenient drive for you to come to, and we'll let the gardeners talk more about volunteer days and other ways to get involved. So real quick, just to kind of go through what we're going to do today, Mary here is going to go over the basics of planting your pepper. So this series is all about peppers, and then she's going to do some demonstrations, and then we're basically going to open up for questions. And so the rest of the time you can ask her different questions about questions that you may have, and then you can talk to Paula and Teresa and Raleigh, learn more about the garden. This is the first class of 5. So we're going to be here every Tuesday morning, 9 to 10 for the next 5 weeks. All of them are free. The first 10 people do get a nice little freebie. So I think everyone here got a shovel per household. So you can use that to go and plant your pepper when you get home. And every week the freebie is related to what you're learning about. So yeah, we're hoping that this will be really turnkey and that you'll go home learning a lot. So if you have only signed up for the one session, then before you leave today, we're going to encourage you to scan this. This will take you to the collection, and I want to tell you that all the gardens are in this, so make sure you find the right garden for you. So just look for the Apollo Beach, and it says it nice and big. It says Plant Your Plate Week 2 Apollo Beach. We'll also send a follow-up email with this link. So we really would love to see you every week for the next 5 weeks, so that way you can learn how to grow and harvest and eat your pepper. And so yeah, go ahead and give this a sign up before you leave, or we'll send a follow-up link as well. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mary.
All right. Welcome everybody. This is like my dream. I have always, my whole life, I just wanted to teach people how to garden. And it's just so exciting that you guys are all here. A couple of little housekeeping things. One is, this one's like $10, and this gives you a full breakdown of all the things that are in your soil. All the macronutrients, micronutrients. It gives you like a printout of what to add to your soil to get it, optimum and stuff like that. So if you guys are kind of growing in an area, if you're doing raised beds like this, you're buying soil, it's not necessary unless you're a nerd like me and you just really want to know, like, hey, what's in there, and kind of like track. And you could do it every year and just get like, just to see kind of the cycle of your plants, because you'll see that as these grow, these plants are taking things out of the soil, so it's going to have to be replaced in the soil. So you can exhaust your soil. We hear a lot about that now with like, big agriculture farms and stuff like that, with the soil depleted. So it's a simple pH test is the first thing to do. The second thing is location. You guys want a place that's close to water. We have irrigation in here. Water is just, when people say I want to start a community garden or whatever, my first question is water, because it really, it may not seem like a big deal if you just have a couple of pots sitting out on your deck, but when you have stuff like this to water, this takes, a good 10 minutes in each of these beds here. So when it's summertime and these are apart, but I really like peppers, so I'm gonna put them 6 inches apart. It doesn't work that way. They're not gonna do as well. They're gonna be competing for water and resources and nutrients and stuff like that. So you really wanna pay attention. This is, you know, millennia of people gardening and just figuring out what is the best spacing. So for most of these hot peppers, it says that they wanna be about 18 to 24 inches apart. And I know it's hard to imagine. This is why all of us gardeners, and trust me, I am so guilty of this all the time, where you are gonna just try and cram everything in because you're like, oh, it's just this big right now. But these peppers are gonna get about this big if they're given enough space. If they're not given enough space, they're just gonna get small. They're just gonna grow smaller because they're gonna be really packed in there tight. So we brought a bunch of different peppers here. I'm gonna start with the hot ones. Let's see. We brought ghost pepper. You guys like ghost pepper? Do you know what a ghost pepper is? Have you ever heard of it? So ghost peppers are pretty hot. So I think what do you guys think? Do you think if I could do one here, one here, one here, or do you think I should do 2? 2. I think 2. All right. One thing we're gonna do is just dig down in here. We're gonna get a lot of mulch in here, but that's okay. I'm gonna get down to the soil. And the first thing I wanna do is put some amendments in there. So most of the time, especially here in Florida, we have really sandy soil. So every time, all through the rainy season and everything, that rain is just rinsing everything down all through that. We're basically a beach, you know, so we have like beach sand. So you need to add some amendments in there. The 2 that I always put in there, cow manure and worm castings. So cow manure, I give it a good like handful. In there, fertilizer, compost, a little bit of bone meal. Bone meal is just gonna add calcium, so you don't end up with blossom end rot, like I said before. Just a tiny little bit. I do blood meal in there. Blood meal is gonna give a lot of, I think it's phosphorus that it puts into the soil, and this is gonna help for root growth. There's also, they're doing some studies now that they think that putting blood meal in with your herbs deters pests, because things that are looking to feed on plants do not like blood. They're not looking for meat to eat, they're looking for vegetables to eat. So they kind of, a lot of bugs and stuff are just deterred by the smell of dry blood. Something else that I like to put in, I wish I started doing this a long time ago, is mycorrhiza. This is the fungus. If you guys have heard like that plants communicate and everything in the forest floor is all connected. Yep. You've heard that? Yeah. All right. So they're all talking and communicating with this stuff. So the only important thing with mycorrhiza, and I'm gonna email you guys all kinds of resources later. So as long as I have your correct email, yeah. I talk, there's a lot, yeah. That's why I have notes, because my digressions have digressions. Mycorrhiza, when you put it in, it wants to be touching the root of your plant. That's going to help this plant start to communicate with everything else here. So they're going to start sending each other water, they're going to start sending each other nutrients. It's really just a cool little world where these plants, everything else that's growing here underground, if you dig down deep enough, you're going to hit this fungal network, and it literally looks just like the neurons in our brain, and that's how everything is communicating. This plant over here starts getting chewed by caterpillars, and it starts saying, hey guys, it sends a signal out to everyone, I got caterpillars over here. You guys might want to start changing the taste of your leaves and kind of get a little nasty so they don't come attack you. And they're just constantly communicating like that. If someone's dry over here, they'll send water to them. If someone is they can even detect, the plants can detect when something leaves. All right, got it. Some of the amendments. Do we remember? This is going to be the fertilizer. So you want to go ahead in there. Throw a little in there. And I'll just dump this stuff because it's a little powdery. I'll do this part for you. We just need a little bit. just need a little bit of this. All right, now you gotta come over, you gotta pick a plant. All right, kids, so what do you think? What do you think, Zaire should plant? That's a sweet moruga. Not all of them are hot. Brought some sweet ones too. Let's see, we have a fish pepper, which is one of my favorites. We have early jalapeno, and we have 7-pot hot chocolate. No? Okay, he's gonna do the sweet one. All right. So we're gonna take this out. Put your hand over there. No, I never had that kind of thing. One hand over here. Take the pot nice and gentle. Shake it a little bit till that pot comes out, till that plant comes out.
Well, maybe you'll get a
All
chance.
right.
You can say I want to plant the hot chocolate.
Okay. Gonna get it right in that hole. And you're gonna push it down in, nice and good. We want it to really work to set those roots. That's just gonna help that plant be so strong.
So this week is about planting peppers. So every week is a different topic.
All right, it's okay if it's tipped over, and then we're gonna kick a little bit of mulch in there. Not too much.
No, they're
All
gonna
right.
stay here. I'm going to check them out.
Yes, good job. Look at that. Put Gardner on your resume.
We don't forget to label.
Don't
Where's the
forget to
label?
You see what I just did?